feels like my hair gets frizzier and frizzier as the days go on. And it may wind up with me cutting it. I think that's the thing. Hey guys, this is Brie with the Bee Face, and today we have another Ready to Love review. This is season 7, episode 12. This is the Decision Day episode. So this was kind of the finale, and then the reunion is next week. So as per usual, it starts off with like everyone getting together for a brunch, and so Katie walks in, immediately has an attitude with Swayze, and Swayze's just really not trying to hear it. And Randall's over here giving him advice because he has learned things, and his main takeaway from the season was women be projecting this like hard exterior, but they're so soft and gooey on the inside and sensitive. And so he's trying to give Swayze some insight into, you know, his journey here. So then Tommy calls Charisse up because she has let Samson go. And she comes up and is like, you know what, I'm not part of this journey anymore. And, you know, she has this big smile going on. And then Katie was like, I would like to present as well. She goes up to the front with Tommy and then calls Swayze up there. And he's like, I don't know what is happening. And she's just basically saying, like, we just had an argument. And, you know, it's just, he won't plan a future, like he won't, you know, talk about the future with me. And Swayze's like, I don't know how many times I can tell you, like, I do see a future with you. Like, I don't need to be with an insecure woman, basically. And she was like, I just needed some reassurance. And then Tommy says, can it be fixed? And Katie kind of looks at Swayze, and Swayze was like, I'm not interested in fixing it. And then Katie was like, all right, well, then there we go. And so I didn't see her actually cry. I saw her wiping like sweat. I didn't see her crying. So yeah, there's that. I don't think that was planned. I think, because this is the first time we've only had like 2 guys at the end. Like it's usually 3 or 4 guys at the end, and then, you know, they're all making decisions and blah blah blah. So this is an odd situation. I really don't think that was meant to happen. But Katie was like, I cannot do this anymore, and so she made her stance, and Swayze made the decision. So then this is like where the men are having the ladies meet their families, and both Mike and Randall brought their brothers to meet the ladies, and both of them also brought Kayla as one of their dates. So the first couple we see, my arm is itching, which is why I keep doing this. I don't know what it is. Mike brings his brother to meet Brandy. So that's the first date that we see. And of course they get into that conversation of Brandy never having been in a relationship. And, you know, he was asking good questions. He's like, okay, well, you've never been in a relationship. What do you think, you know, was the cause of that? Like, you know, in those situationships, what do you think you could have done differently? You know, what are just some flaws personally that you see that you could work on? And Brandy had no words, which is odd because it's giving lack of self-awareness. I feel like as a human, you should be able to tell, like, these are things I can work on. I mean, people have told her she needs a lot of reassurance. I feel like Samson and Mike have said she needs a lot of reassurance. I feel like even if you couldn't think of anything, that's one thing people have said to you. I mean, her excuse was like, well, the guys always say, you know, it's not you, it's me. Yeah, that's a breakup line, girl. I don't know that. And even in those situations, I feel like there's space for you to be like, going forward, I need to position myself so that I don't accept situationships, or like I can see now when it's leading to that. I can see now when a guy's not interested in having a relationship, or, you know, I need to listen to guys when they say, hey, this is what I'm looking for, instead of thinking, oh, maybe, you know, sleeping with me for 6 months will change their mind. I don't know, whatever. But like there were things that she could have said. Now, either she doesn't know these things, or she was just not willing to share, which is also valid. So that was an interesting that was an interesting interaction. And so then we see Randall and Kayla meeting with Randall's brother, and that date got a little spicy because it all started because the brother asked, "Do you see yourself with Randall?" And she was like, "Well, that's his decision." And he was like, "No, I'm asking how you feel." And Randall was like, "Yeah, like you haven't answered based on how you feel. You're making it about what decision I make, but that's not about how you feel." And she was like, "Well, I asked you, blah, 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 and you said, I have no answers for you. I can't give you an answer. I don't know, blah, 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 blah." And he was like, "Okay, you can say that too. Like, you have the opportunity to say, I don't have an answer for you right now. I don't know. You can do that. But what we're asking you is about your feelings. So don't cop out and make it about what decision I make. I'm talking about you." And so that got a little heated because, it seems that Kayla really isn't trying to, put her feelings out there when she doesn't know if she's going to be chosen, which is normal. But yeah, that conversation got a little spicy. Then Kayla meets up with Mike and his brother. They got along really well. Like, they were all laughing and joking, and it seemed like they were having a really good time. She answered questions well. One thing that I did like that she said was, I think the brother asked something to the effect of like, "What could you add to his life?" And she was basically like, I see things in him, and I think I could expand his horizons. I can, encourage him to move past what he's doing now, because I think he's limiting his potential. I think that there's so much that he could do that I could help with, or at least encourage him in. Or maybe it's even just, opening his eyes to what a different lifestyle could look like. And, those are things that I see, right? Which is a good answer. Like, that's really good. But very interesting, and I don't think we've heard Mike verbalize this before. His concern with Kayla is she's a little, like, she comes from wealth, so he's not sure that the type of person she's looking for, like, if he measures up to that criteria, which is a valid thought and concern. If she's used to living a certain lifestyle, it is something to think about. If I fit into your life, or if I even want to live that type of lifestyle, or if I see myself being at a place without putting myself into financial hardship that I can, match your lifestyle. So there is that. That's something like real to think about. So that date was really good. And then Randall and Jamala, it's their turn to meet up with the brother. Randall now seems a little bit, I'm flipping through words, trying to figure out what word it is. Like, nonchalant toward her, like kind of apathetic, like uninterested. Like, he's just kind of there now. I think maybe they have talked issues to death, and maybe he's just like, we've known each other a month. Why are we still having arguments, I guess? I don't know. But yeah, so they, again, jump into that getaway situation, and the brother is asking about that, and, do you think you're an insecure person? And listen, both of these people have dug their heels into what their point is. Randall has stuck to his point, and Jamala has stuck to her point, and it's no getting through. Like, they're just like, I feel how I feel, you feel how you feel. And so we're gonna have to figure out how to get through this. So yeah, hey, the brother likes Jamala. He did not like Kayla, and he said that flat out. He said, Kayla's a no for me. But yeah, so then Kayla and Randall go on a date, and Randall tells Kayla, "Yeah, my brother's not a fan of you. He didn't really like you." And she's like, like, did he like Jamala? Yeah, he loved Jamala. Oh. Like, that whole conversation was super awkward, because it's like, what do I say to this? I don't know what your intent is on telling me this. I don't feel like Randall was doing a very good job at that conversation. There was just a lot of pauses, a lot of like silent moments. And Jamal is like, you know, just say the thing you want to say. Like, just say what you're going to say. And she gets really kind of on him and is like, you have to make a decision. And he was like, I'm not choosing you. And the way he said it, like even the face that he made, it seemed like he was mad at that moment. And I'm like, what are you mad about? This is kind of the point of the show, right? You get to, I feel like that's why you took her on a date, to tell her, and she's asking you and you just won't say it. And so now you're forced to. So what are you upset about? Anyway, yeah, that was odd. Anyway, decision day comes, and of course Randall and Jamala choose each other. That was no surprise. Mike is, you know, walking barefoot on the beach with a big old box, and Brandy shows up, so we know he's not picking Caleb. And I wonder who told her that she was not getting invited onto decision day. Like, I don't know if producers were like, yes, sis, you're not getting a call back, sorry. Or like if it's Mike calling her, he might have called her and was like, you know, I'm not choosing you on the show, but we can still talk and get to know each other, and you know, they can have a real side chick situation, because that was kind of the like story on the show. They kept on saying it. I mean, it really might be true, because in the previews, none of these people look like they're together. And I saw, like, usually you can tell when people are together because they're all hugged up on the couches. But like, Mike was sitting, I think, in the middle of a couch, and Brandy was hugging the arm. Like, she couldn't get far enough away from him. So I doubt that they're still together, which is unfortunate, because it seemed like Brandy really thought that she and Mike had something real. But there are rumors rolling around those internet streets that Mike ain't really single, so, and his lifestyle may not look like what he's portraying it to be on the show. Who knows? I don't know. But I guess we'll see next week on the reunion why they're not together. Jamala and Randall are still having the same argument, and they're not together, but they're working through. I don't know why I did this. They're working through some things, is what Jamala says, but I just feel like, I don't know. I was talking to my friend about this, and I just feel like if you're a month in and you're already having these arguments like this, is it worth it to really keep pursuing it? I just feel like you haven't been able to get past this one thing. And off the show, it should have been easier, because it shouldn't be that you're dealing with other people, right? Like, that was the point. We ended the show together, and you know, now it's just me and you, so we're in real life. So it's not like I'm seeing you interact with all these other girls, so it should be fine. So what is the argument that y'all are still having, and why have y'all not just decided to let it go? I feel like that's what needs to happen, but whatever. And the only people that look like they're booed up are Swayze and Kadian. Like, there was one point where they were like backstage, and Swayze is like sitting, and then Kadian is like, you know, leaned up against him. And it's like, y'all are so hot and cold. Like, it's wild that they're the only ones together, but somehow expected, because they were hot and cold on the show. But there's that. And then also in the previews, it looks like Swayze is getting into it with one of the guys. I think it was Alonzo. And I don't know what the problem is. I'm interested to see why he's so upset with Alonzo, and you know, if it has anything to do with how he talks to women. And I'm interested to see how the ladies respond to that, because I think that's been a complaint from the women in past seasons, is that, especially that one DC season where Tommy wasn't at the reunion, is that the men don't defend the ladies, and like, they don't check each other in defense of the women. And so maybe they'll be happy about it, like, finally somebody stand up to this man who decides it's cool to be bullies to women. I don't know. But that is it for this review. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.